Hey guys, welcome back to another video of TCGB rolls. Bring you a deck profile of my upgraded Angel deck. Okay, so let's start. So this is my flag, and then yeah, that's my body. I'm like Chimera. So okay, next I run 3 copies of my body. Ammonite Chimera, 6,000 attack, 2 crit, 7,000 defense. Run him because his stats are pretty good. Yeah, 6,000 attack is very high, and 7,000 defense is still very good. Next, 3 Twin Horn Dragon Arc. Twin Horn Dragon Arc Giraffe. So, what's his effect is basically he has double attack, and then his color cost is pay 2 each, and then yeah, and he has 7,000 attack, 2 critical, and 6,000 defense. So pretty strong. Next, 3 Night Flight Dragon Rahal. So this is one of my favorite cards of the deck because he has no core cost. Yeah, and then he has the ability to move. So far, I think this is the only card in Page War that has the ability to move, and yeah, basically his power is 6,000, 5 he has a defense of 5,000 and 2 critical, so it's like a Halberd Dragon, just that he doesn't need to pay any gauge. Next, 2 Ammonite Medusas, 5,000 attack, 2 crit, 4,000 defense. I run up because she has the ability penetrate. What's the ability penetrate? Is basically when this monster destroys a monster in your opponent's center, and yeah, you can deal damage to equivalent to this monster's critical, which is also yeah, deal him 2 damage and destroy the monster's center. So next, for size ones, 4 Ammonite Ogres. Run him because of his stats. He 5,000 attack, 2 crit, 3,000 defense. He's a pretty big monster, yeah, so good for getting rid of those irritating size 1 and size 2 monsters. Yeah, he can destroy most size 1 and size 2, so that's why I run him. Next, 4 Ammonite Succubus. This card is the only card in my deck which has Soul Guard. Yeah. So I think this is the only Danger card that has Soul Guard. Yeah, and then what's the call cost is basically called pay 1 gauge, and then move 1 Ammonite from your drop zone to a soul.
And then what is Soul Guard is basically where
this unit is destroyed, you may discard the soul to prevent it. So yeah, run 4 of her, and then she has 3,000 attack, 2 critical, and 2,000 defense. Next, 3 Ammonite Hellhounds. 5,000 attack, 1,000, 1 crit, 6,000 defense. Run him because of his stats. His defense is very high and his attack is also very high. So yeah, he can attack most monsters alone. So what I usually do is put him in the center if I go first. So what I usually do is I put him, if I go first, since I can only attack once, I'll put him in the center, and then I'll call usually a Ammonite Ogre. And then yeah, I'll attack the Ammonite Ogre, and then he'll be acting as my wall. So yeah, I get to attack and defend. So that's why this card's very good. Next, 2 Soaring Dragon Sylphide. He's a Ammonite Ogre clone, just that yeah, it's the same stats, 5, 2, 3. Just that it's a Dew Dragon and Ammonite Ogres are Ammonite. So yeah, that's it for size 1s. Now size 2s. 4 Ammonite Eagles. 4,000 attack, 1 crit, 1,000 defense. Mainly an attacker to get rid of most size 1 and size 2, because 4,000 is still pretty high. Yeah. And then since size 0 is 0, it doesn't take up much space, so I'll call size 2, size 1, and then size 0. So I have 3 attacks in one turn, so that's very good. Next, for weapons, 4 hysteric spears, 5,000 attack, 2 crit, has the ability to penetrate, which I already explained what's penetrate, and then call cost of pay to gauge, so yeah, run 4 of these. Next, 3 boulder piercing spears, 3,000 attack, 2 crit, 0 equip cost, so it's a free weapon. Next, spells. I play a total of 7 weapons. I'll explain to you why I play 7 weapons later. 7 weapons later. Next, 4 battle aura circles. You may only cast this card if you do not have a monster in the center, and then if you do cast this card, you may nullify the attack. So it's good to max out nullifiers. Nullifiers are really important, so I'll max it out. Next, this is also like another nullifier, but then this is one of the reasons why I run a weapon. Basically what its effect is that you cast this card, and then choose one of your monsters and gains the power of your weapon, power or defense of your weapon. So you can only choose one, either to give the monster power or defense. So the power of weapon, what does it mean? It means that if my weapon is boulder piercing spear, then my monster will gain 3,000. If my weapon is hysteric spear, you gain 5,000 power. So all defense. So yeah, and then it's for the whole turn. So that monster will gain that power for the whole turn. So it's very overpowered. Because basically, once you cast this card, most likely your opponent will not be able to attack your center for the whole turn, because that's what I usually do to get the full use of this card. And then yeah, your monster also gains the ability to penetrate, to counter attack, which is basically if your opponent, if that monster survives an attack from your opponent's monsters, you may destroy the opponent's monster. So this card also needs a weapon. It's most effective a weapon, but if you do not have a weapon, this card is still useful. So run 3 of these. Double guillotines. Basically its cast cost is pay 1 gauge, and then its ability is when you are getting attacked by your opponent's weapon, you may cast this card, pay 1 gauge, you do destroy this weapon. And then if you have a weapon equipped, you may play rock, paper, scissors with him. If you win, you may deal damage equivalent to your weapon's critical. So since all my weapons critical are 2, so I will deal 2 damage if I win you. And then for double guillotine, you can only you can only cast it if your opponent's attacking you directly. So if it doesn't count if your opponent's using a weapon with penetrate, and then he penetrates and then he deals you damage, so that doesn't count. He has to attack you directly. So yeah. Next, run 3 invigorating breath, because the trial only gives me 3, so yeah, run 3, and then it's a pretty good card. You may only cast this card if you do not have a monster in the center, and then you have a weapon equipped. That's why I run 7 weapons, because most of my spells needs a weapon. So yeah, and then you gain 4 life, and then for each time, the amount of life you gain will decrease by 1 each whenever there's 1 invigorating breath in the drop. So the first time you cast it, 4. Second time, you gain 3. Third time, you gain 2. So yeah, that's what that means. So next, 2. Lord Aura Meditation. His effect is cast this and then you gain 2 gauge. So yeah. As you can see, this deck is pretty straightforward, yeah. And most of the spells are defensive spell, because most of my monsters are very offensive, like such as Amnet Chimera, Twin Horn, Dragon Arc Giraffe, and then ogre, and then that penetrate weapon. Yeah, so most of the monsters are very offensive, so yeah, I got to have defensive spells to make up for the offense. Yeah, so and then as you can see, this deck doesn't run impact cards because to me, personal opinion, I do not like the impact card because Danger World only has one impact card, and that impact card is Drill Bunker. So yeah, and Drill Bunker, I believe, is the only impact card that can be nullified, because even Reckless Anger, which is re-standing your weapon, it states down there clearly that the attack cannot be nullified. But Drill Bunker, they did not say. So basically, what's the Drill Bunker effect? Is pay to gauge, and then your weapon gains plus 2 crit and 4000 power. So yeah, and ability to penetrate. So let's say I cast that card, and then if my opponent doesn't have a monster in the center, and then yeah, he can basically just use a blue dragon shield, green dragon shield, or battle or circle, or out of body replacement, or the Solomon shield. Yeah, every world has its own nullifier. So yeah. And then even if he has a monster center, he can just use a battle spirit ignite, or if he's Dragon World, he can just Dragon Energy, and most likely the attack will be nullified. Yeah, and then, or even worse is that if you attack him, and then if he's using Danger World and he doesn't have a monster in center, what he can do basically is just cast double guillotine, and then he destroys your weapon, and then yeah, and you might get dealt 2 damage, and then yeah, basically you pay 2 gauge, you lost your weapon, and then you get dealt damage. So that's what happened to me when I played my brother. So I do not recommend you to play Drill Bunker. So that's the end of the deck profile. Hope you enjoy it. Rate, comment, subscribe.